Mr. Chair. The Honourable Judith Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks for the opportunity to contribute to this very important bill. I just want to take the opportunity to correct a little bit of information. Mr. Ball told the House that police are responsible for monitoring child sex offenders when they leave prison. Well, that is incorrect. And I think we just need to correct that. But there's another point I want to make about this. I'm very concerned about some of the rhetoric around having a public and open register. I think it's one of those questions and issues that might seem very compelling at first glance. But one of the problems is that it does give, for a start, a very false hope, a false sense of security, even having a register. I fully support the register because, to me, it's an opportunity for Child, Youth and Family, or whatever its equivalent is, and many other agencies to understand that they actually are placing a child in a home with a child sex offender, which otherwise they might not know if they don't have the information. It's really important that we have the information across government, across the official agencies with responsibility. But I think one of the very sad comments that I've heard is just the number of people who are child sex offenders being released out in the community. You know, you're talking about 250 in a year. That is an appalling statistic for New Zealand. I would say on the good side that it means that those people were caught, that they were held to account, that they were in fact, they did in fact receive justice, and they will have received rehabilitation as well in most cases. But what that tells me too is that there are probably a large number who are not caught, who are not actually held to account. And we do get quite a lot of talk about where child sex offenders live, and some people want to have a register open so they can know where everyone is. Actually, child sex offenders are more likely to be living in one's home, along with the child that they're sexually offending. They're not so likely, although it does happen, to be living in the park waiting to molest little children as they come to play. They're far more likely to be in areas of responsibility, positions of responsibility. They might be members of parliament, they might be councillors, they might be psychologists, they might be defence personnel, they might even be, dare I say, police or correction staff. Do you know what? Because actually that's what's happened in the past. And there might even be diplomats who have certainly had situations like that. There are people who are child sex offenders right throughout society. They do not have little horns on their heads. They do not have tattoos on them saying, I'm a child sex offender. They are actually people, in most cases, who are highly manipulative, able to gain people's trust, often gaining the trust of mothers, often gaining the trust of families, particularly vulnerable families who seek out and want someone to help them with their children or to be a mentor for their children. Some of these people are highly manipulative people. And actually, it's all right to say, well, we have a public register, then we get, what, vigilantism. And that is absolutely not something that we should be seeking. But we should also be trying to get people who are child sex offenders, once they're released, to actually continue with the therapy, because what we know is that quite a lot of the work that goes on in rehabilitation in this area can actually be very successful. It is an area where we've had huge success, particularly at Rolleston Prison. And sometimes people don't realise that. It is an area where change can be brought about. And it's not that people no longer have these identify sexually with children, but it's that they don't act on it. And that is what we want. We want people not to act on that sort of behaviour. But it is wrong to think that child sex offenders are not everywhere. I support the fact that I want agencies who have responsibility to know. I also want, if somebody worries that somebody in their family might be acting in a way, or someone who's living in their house may be acting in a way that concerns them around their child, that they should be able to come to police, that police should be able to get all the information they have, that they should be able to talk to Child, Youth and Family, that people should be able to tell the parents what is actually going on or what is likely to be going on, and to take action, because actually that information is so valuable. One of the things I think we need to do is give agencies the information. I've been to the police to have a look at how this is all working with corrections and Ministry of Social Development staff and all the other agencies working together. I was really impressed with the level of detail that they could have, because it's not a public register. And I would also say too is that this costs money, which it should do, and which we actually are happy to put budget money towards, because it is so worthwhile. But let's not double up. Let's keep the information where it needs to be, and let's have it detailed enough that it makes a difference.
Carmel Sepuloni.